Oh, it turned back on. It turned on. Yeah, it's on. I'm just gonna do this now. Alright, so I'm gonna talk about tithe. I was just talking about it. I didn't like the way the video went. Look, I'm just gonna get to it. A lot of churches, they waste your tithe money, okay? It's that simple. I was with the church. It was called Assemblies of God, and it was in West Covina. And there's this guy there. His name was Jarrett Lemaster, and he's married now. This was a long time ago. This was like 7 or 8 years ago. The guy's like married and has a kid now. And you know how it is, like these kids, they go to universities and colleges and they think they know everything, and they're always like, oh yeah, dude, it's all about, Jesus and Starbucks, bro. And it's like, it's not about what people think about you, it's just about you and God, man. And like, if you want to balk like a chicken and you think that glorifies God, then you need to do it. It's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Because that's how this church was. It had a lot of these 30-somethings getting in there and 20-somethings, or I don't know, somethings. And anyway, this place was just hemorrhaging tithe money. It was terrible. It was terrible. And they would joke about it. They'd laugh at it. Actually, like that guy, Jarrett, this guy Jarrett, and a lot of his people who worked for him, they were getting paid a substantial amount of money per week. And they would put in probably 12 minutes or 12 hours. It could be 12 minutes worth of work a week and getting paid for 40 hours worth of work. And they had a full staff to keep this place going, this mega church, and they ran a lot of other ministries around the world. And these people these people at this church, they got this was real jobs. And your tithe money, if you tithe to the church, your tithe money was paying their salaries. And these kids got these jobs because of their parents being politically connected at the Azusa Pacific University or in the church. And so they get a position in there. They don't do anything. They don't know anything about what they're doing. And then there's people like me who's putting in 60 hours a week trying to do good for the church, trying to help the church save money, and then we see all that money get wasted because they're like, hey, this person did all this work for us. Everything's done already. They did all my work, his work, and his work. We're getting paid anyway. Let's just go out and enjoy this, And what happens here is that's how a lot of these churches work. They'll get volunteers to do their work for them. They get paid anyway, and then they'll go out and they will put their lunch on the card as a tax write off, and the not a tax write off, as a what's it called, babe? As a business expense. So the tithe, so the church pays for it. So it's paid for by the tithers of the church, and they'll do it day after day after day, and all of them will go out. We're talking about 8 or 9 people go out, and each meal costs between $9 to $12, and that's how your tithe money will be used at a lot of these churches. That's how it was at that Assemblies of God in West Covina, but it may not be like that anymore. But it was just sad. It was sad. I saw that church go down. It probably recovered, but I saw a lot of corruption there. I saw a lot of demonic stuff happen there, and it was just really sad. I saw a lot of fake prophets there, and later on they admitted they were fake prophets, and it was just so sad. And I saw that sadly, this church and what was going on there was one of the good churches. Yep, it was one of the least corrupted churches around. And that's what happens with your tithe money, people. I just want you to know that. And then there's good places too to put your money. People say that you should put your money where you get your fruit from. So it's like my mom is right. My mom, she mentioned this to me as far as she'll go to church. When she used to go to church, she used to go to that church, but she wouldn't tithe there because she didn't get anything out of it. But she'd watch people on TV, I won't drop any names, but she'd watch some evangelists on TV, 4 or 5 or maybe 6 of them, and the three of them that she really liked that changed her life for the better and that she benefited from, she would split her tithe and give it to those people accordingly. And like you could do it that way, that would make sense. Or what I think is best is do it yourself. Put the money into what you think is good for people. I think that's the only way to do it, to be honest with you. If you're going to put 10% towards something, put it towards what you think is good. Some people think it's not biblical. I don't care what some people think. I care about what God thinks. I just don't trust other people working on God's behalf for me, because, to be honest with you, aren't any people of God out there anymore within the churches anymore. If you want the Lord's work to be done, you want to be close to the Lord, or if you want the Lord's work to be done with your money, you got to be close to the Lord, and you got to do it yourself, or you need to ask the Lord what to do with your 10% of your money, and do it yourself. Don't rely on other people to do good with that 10% for you, because most likely your 10% is just going to be used on nachos or someone's car payment who's not doing squat. So I just thought you guys should know that. I hope I didn't burst your bubble or take the wind out of your sails. Is that what they say? Mm-hmm. Take the wind out of your sails?
Yes.
I don't know. I think it has something to do with farting. A farting joke or some crap. I don't even know.